Hey, what's up, you guys? 559 Alto Sax here, and I'm going to be giving you a Cyber Dragon deck profile for today. I want to go ahead and thank you guys right now for the support with my Gimmick Puppet deck profile. It got about 50 views, which for me is a pretty big deal. I mean, I'm so new to this whole YouTube thing, so I really do appreciate that support, you guys. It means a lot. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into the deck profile. Cyber Dragon is definitely an archetype that is one of my favorites. GX was my favorite series. So we're gonna go ahead and start with triple Cyber Dragon, pretty basic. Your opponent controls a monster, you don't special summon it, and it's a 21 beater, so it's gonna get over most things that your opponent has out as far as just your basic open plays that your opponent would make. Cyber Dragon will get over them. Next up, we have three Cyber Dragon Jure. Very good card for this deck. I'm really glad that they added this card. Basically, when it's summoned, all Cyber Dragons you control are level 5, and that would include himself since he would be a Cyber Dragon that you control. And when he's banished, you can target one Cyber Dragon you control. It can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So it pretty much makes your Cyber Dragons invincible, on top of making them a level 5 if they're not already level 5. And they can go into all your overlays and your big Xyz plays and really get some momentum going. Next up is Triple's Way. A lot of people question why I chose 3, and the reason I did is because when it attacks your opponent, it's an 18 beater, and you can reveal a spell card in your hand. Its name is Cyber Dragon until the end phase, and its name is always Cyber Dragon while it's in the graveyard. So with all the Cyber Dragon support and the whole Cyber Dragon, the deck, it's really good to have this card. It's level 4, but it can always get up to level 5 with Cyber Dragon Dre. So I'm really happy with this card. I really do enjoy it. I think it works well at 3. Next up is going to be Triple Cyber Valley. This is primarily just to stall your opponent out if they have a really big monster on the field and you know that they're just going to run over you. It's a good card to have. Go ahead and banish it, draw a card, end the battle phase. I mean, it's a really good stall card. Next up is Triple Cyber Larva for the same purpose as Cyber Valley. This is just going to be for your defense, just to make sure that you don't get hit too hard directly. And even if you do, when it's destroyed, you don't take any battle damage. So even if you have a weaker monster, like maybe Cyber Dragon Core on the field, and they're gonna run over that, Cyber Larva also protects Cyber Dragon Core, not from the whole destruction, but from the damage, and that's more or less what counts. Next up is the double Cyber Dragon Core. I do want to run 3 of these. I'm looking for the third one right now, and for right now, I think 2. I'm testing it at 2 because who knows, maybe 2 can just be a great number. But for right now, I mean, I want 3. I think 3 is really good. It's gonna search out a lot of Cyber Dragon spells and traps, and it's gonna go ahead and help to get the momentum going as far as getting like Cyber Repair Plant, Cyber Network, all that good stuff. All right. So to finish off the Cyber monsters, we're gonna have one Cyber Eleton or Altitin. And so basically, you banish all the light machine type monsters from your side of the field or your graveyard and your graveyard. I'm sorry. And it gains 500 for each banished monster. And when it's special summoned, nuke the field. So even if your opponent has a bunch of different monsters, it's okay. You can still get this effect off, and you'll be fine. Next up, one satellite cannon. It's a pretty good stall. I mean, it's a level 5, so it works for all the rank 5s, and it can be a really huge beat stick if you need it to. I mean, this card can really do some damage. Next up is 2 light Hexial Fusion. This is what's gonna help get off a lot of your fusion plays without actually having to use that many polymerizations. Really good card. It substitutes itself for any fusion material. So really all you need is one Cyber Dragon, this card, Cyber Twin. It can attack twice, and from there you're pretty good to go. Next up is 1 Reflect Bounder. Its effect is pretty good. It burns your opponent a little bit, but it says before damage calculation. So meaning that it would be before your damage calculation. So your opponent would actually take the effect damage before you take the battle damage. If I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong on that, please correct me in the comments. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure that's what the effect would be. Okay, next up, we're running 1 Honest. All these creatures are light, so it's mandatory that we have to have that Honest. That wraps up the monsters. So now for the spells, we're running 1 Forbidden Chalice. I want Forbidden Lance, but for right now, Chalice is fine. 1 Polymerization. You want to make sure that you always have something to fuse into if you need to. I mean, worst case scenario, it's a dead draw, but a lot of the time that's why I only run 1, because it's not. 1 Power Bond just to get out the maybe a 8,000 beater of a Cyber End with that piercing damage, or the 56 Cyber Twin, and it just runs over everything. Star Changer, really good card. It can either really help you out by increasing a level by 1 so that you can get those big level 5s, or increasing your opponents or decreasing your opponents so they can't even pull off the XE. They can't pull off the Synchro Summon. Very good card right here. Next up, 2 different dimension reincarnation. Like I said, with all the banishing you're going to do, especially with Cyber Alatin's effect, this is a really good card to have if you want to bring anything back. Like if you have to banish a Cyber End Dragon for that, go ahead and activate this, bring it back. Now you have 2 huge monsters on the field. Next up is the double machine duplication. Mostly for Cyber Dragon Core, you're going to activate this, get the double Cyber Dragon, and overlay for Nova. Next up is double Cyber Repair Plant. Really good card. Well, I think definitely one of the best as far as all the support. If you have one Cyber Dragon, you can activate this one of these effects. If you have 3 or more, you can activate both. So the effects is add 1 light machine type monster from your deck to your hand, and actually target 1 light machine type monster in your graveyard, shuffle that target into the deck. Next up is double MST because spells are back rows bad. And then triple evolution burst. With all the Cyber Dragons in this deck, this card is too good not to run, in my opinion. For traps, so 1 cybernetic hidden technology, pretty good. I mean, just in case you have something that your opponent needs to get over, or you need to get over, and it's just good just to destroy some big monsters that your opponent might have. 1 draining shield negates the attack. You gain life points equal to the attack, so this could really bring you back if you're low on life points. 1 deep prison, just because I don't want my opponents to have their monsters. 1 compulse. Once again, just any synchros, any XCs that I don't want, get them out right there. 1 Wabaku for protection. Half or nothing. Either half the attack of all monsters your opponent controls, or end the battle phase. So either way, it's a positive for you. Traps done for stunning traps. Call of the Haunted to bring back something if you need it. Double Cyber Network. Destroyed after the 3rd standby phase of it being activated. Go ahead and banish 1 light machine type monster from your deck, and then once this card is destroyed, special summon them. So it's a great way to swarm the field and get out all your big plays. Last but not least, 1 Solemn Warning just to negate those summons. So that wraps up the main deck. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the extra deck, you guys. So with the extra deck, it's a pretty basic extra deck. I'm pretty happy with it. So we're going to go ahead and start with double Cyber Dragon Nova. I do want to run 3. I'm looking for a 3rd one along with another core, but I don't want to buy a whole new structure deck because then I have a bunch of cards that are useless to me. So double Cyber Dragon Nova, great effect. Banish a Cyber Dragon from your hand or face up on the field. It's a 42 beater. If they try to mirror force it or destroy it by an effect, get out a big monster like Cyber End or Cyber Twin. Next up is the Cyber Twin Dragon. If you power bond it, it's a 56 beater, which is insane, and it can attack twice per battle phase, so this is going to end a lot of games very, very quickly. Next up is only 1 Cyber End Dragon. I'm pretty happy with 1. You got that 4,000 attack piercing damage. And, I mean, what else can I say? It's pretty epic. I mean, Cyber End Dragon was one of my favorite cards in GX. Next up, 1 Chimera Tech Over Dragon. Pretty good card. I mean, it gains that 800 for each of the fusion materials. And it can attack your opponent this card can attack your opponent's monsters a number of times equal to the number of fusion materials used for its fusion summon. So even if they have a monster that isn't going to be destroyed, if they have something that's going to take battle damage, this card's really going to help get it out of the way. And to wrap it up, we have 1 number 61 Volcanosaurus. This is just in case for me to pop something that I can't handle at the moment. This is like my last ditch effort just to get it out of the way so I don't have to worry about it anymore. And it's a level 5, so it works well with all the other cards in the deck. And it's 25 beater, so it's not the strongest in the world, but its effect is really what I have it in here for. So guys, that wraps up my Cyber Dragon deck profile. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, Cyber Dragon is one of my favorite decks to run. And so with that being said, you guys please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and shoot me a comment in the comment section below. I'll definitely get to that and give you my input. So with that, you guys, I want to go ahead and thank you for taking time out of your day, night, or afternoon to watch the video. It means a lot. So with that, you guys, peace out.